Hey, I just wanted to make this little intro here, just so I had a, bit of a transition between, bit of a intro time between the, you know what an intro is. I know a reason why I'm doing it. This is a rant video. I wanted to have space between you clicking on the video and me being angry at Forsaken. Uh, don't want it to be too big though, so I'm gonna keep this short. I, I'm disappointed with the devs. This is not how I wanted the game to turn out to be. I wish Soul hadn't turned out to be a creep and that all of those allegations had been fake. I wish Basil and Hitoko were better developers. I wish Forsaken wasn't at this point in time. I probably won't make any more Forsaken videos, maybe. Just this one, but we'll see. If the situation improves, I might go back. If they like genuinely improve, like they become better developers, they're better at making content that works, that fits. If they actually turn things around, I will go back to making content. I'm still gonna play it, I'm just not gonna make as much Forsaken content. That's all. Or if any. Get out of the way. Enjoy the B-roll footage in the background. So I have an issue with Forsaken's current balancing, right? And my issue is, right? It's Veronica and two time. Also Bloxicola I've now discovered is also really fucking annoying. But we'll get onto that maybe at some other point or something. Thing is, right? They're just so infuriating to go against as anyone other than Noli. You know why? Because Noli has the best moves of their type in the game. Noli has a well, except for his aura read ability. That one X's aura read is still the best. Just overall ability. He's got the best projectile in the game because it's able to hit stuff. It has a very large blast radius and it moves quick. He's got the best movement ability in the game because he charges it up and then he goes at the speed of walk speed override and is able to just go everywhere. He's able to keep up with Veronica is what I'm saying. Playing against Veronica in two time is like playing Five Nights at Freddy's while you're trying to catch a headless chicken. Like if you have the two of them in a round, it's annoying as fuck. Because when you're chasing the Veronica, you got to be looking exclusively at them. But then you're chasing the two time, and but then the two time is chasing you, and you now have to play Five Nights at Freddy's while you're in chase because you got to make sure you don't get stabbed by the two time, but at the same time, you also have to target the Veronica. Otherwise, they get their stuff up and it's impossible for you to do anything. Because if a Veronica gets their stuff up, game over, man. Game over. You have to go for Veronica before they get their stuff up. Otherwise, you are highly likely to just lose. And then with two time, you have to turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around all the time in chase, even when you are going for somebody who is causing you too many problems to ignore. Like you're going for the Elliot because they have been repeatedly healing everybody else. You got to go for the two. Well, now you got to look for the after the two time, and oh, you've lost the Elliot around a corner, and you don't know where they are. And since Raging Pace is a really bad aura read ability, you can't use it. So now you just gotta fucking wander around. You just gotta wander around looking. And pray you find them. You gotta, but then you go after the two time, and they're just pressing S for 2 nanoseconds, and suddenly the game thinks they're behind you. And it's just awesome, you know? Like, oh yeah, I really wanted to get backstabbed by somebody who is blatantly in front of me. Yeah, I didn't want to. Thanks, game. And then there's Cola. There's other character combos that are straight up awful to go against. Like Bloxy Cola has one place where you're actually incentivized in using it, and that's LMS. You're incentivized to use it during LMS. You just stay just close enough to the killer where their stamina will drop, but you are still fast enough to where you will be able to regen stamina while keeping them at a specific range so that they have to waste stamina to try and get closer to you. Because they can't physically catch up to you as a survivor with Bloxy-Cola, which is speed 2 for 10 seconds. You get 10 seconds of running down the killer's stamina, and if they catch on to what you're doing, well, then you can just run away. And then they have to run after you anyways, which means you can just do that. You just have to do that for some fucking reason. You just have to deal with it. But that's not fun. Neither is looping. Looping is never fun. Ever. Like, I want you to tell me one time where you had fun while you were looping. Oh, wait. You can't because. Or, well, no, while you were being looped. Because getting looped is boring as fuck. I getting looped, it's. Mm. And then alongside that, we've got the Builderman Taff combo, which is just annoying on its own right, because they can just put they can put the trip mine in the sentry, and then you just can't destroy it. It's like it's impossible to destroy it. And then the game overall is heavily survivor sided. Uh, Sixer has like literally Sixer is either the most broken survivor of all time, or the most broken killer of all time, or they're the worst killer in the history of forever. And there's no in between. Noli's clones, Noli's hallucination stuff, it's fucking awful. Because like you got the fake generators, right? Which they give people hallucination. So why don't you get EXP for people doing those when it's part of the character's kit? I don't know. And then the clones are just genuinely useless because they can't do Void Rush Slam. They don't act like actual Noli. If they acted like an actual person playing Noli, then they'd actually be useful, but they don't do anything other than push the survivor who figured out, oh, that's a Noli clone. They push them around a bit. Or they serve to confuse new players by like, oh no, the killer. Oh no, the killer. And that's it. They only trap real players. Because if this guy's going exclusively for you and like basically walking through other people, I think the Noli clones also do. Yeah, that's probably fake. It's it's bad. And then I'm like I see people trying to defend Basil and Haitoko like, "Oh, they're tired of all the drama." Like, bro, what do you mean tired? There has not been a single update. There's not been a single balance update since Veronica dropped. There was like maybe one after the week that Veronica dropped, but then there wasn't anything else. There was literally one balance change that nerfed Veronica a little bit, and nothing else. You physically can't play against Veronica as anyone other than Noli, because Sixer just gets looped to shit. Cool Kid just doesn't have the mobility. Slasher is in your fucking dreams. 1X is too slow and has hyperlinear projectiles, and John Doe is also slow, but unlike 1X, doesn't have any catch-up moves like Unstable Eye or Entanglement. No, he just has land your freaking spikes for a little speed boost and get stunned while winding up either corrupt energy or error 404, which is a bad way of doing it. It should have stayed the way it was, where he just gets the unstoppable passive no matter what. Because you could still stun him, you just had to think. You just had to use your head. And especially now with other characters, it is a lot more balanced. It should have stayed that way. But yeah, the only killer you can play is Noli, because he has Void Rush, a very fast movement ability that has a decently short cooldown. You have Nova, a ability that provides a very large explosion that could potentially hit a Veronica spray paint or straight up pull Veronica out of the air. And then you have Observant, which literally lets you teleport and then lets you see everyone on the map while providing with fake Nolis to everyone. But everyone else, they get Bubkiss. They get fuck all. Sure, Sixer is broken when you're not looping them. Thing is, his anti-looping thing that he's supposed to have doesn't work because it's not get close. It's move towards and not get closer. It's move towards. So you could hit him with Infernal Cry, and you're moving basically the same speed as if you weren't, because there hasn't been an update. There just hasn't been an update. Let's see. Let's look at announcements. So let's see, sub announcements. Nope, no updates, just a bunch of memes. You look at announcements. We get an announcement for a skin. We get makeship stuff. We get new merch. We got a questionnaire. We got a bug fixing servers bricking, and that's it. Then we got something on October 30th for the update. Let's see. Nothing in announcements stating that they will. No, let's look in update log. Let's see. On the 25th, they removed 2x EXP. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. When they dropped the update. Oh, they removed Chrono Shift? Oh, damn. Anyways, they nerfed his M1. They buffed Cool Kid's walk speed by a little bit. They made walk speed override a little bit faster, and they made his stuff revealed to him. And then the hot fix. They fixed being able to spray at weird angles, reduced range of spraying and wiping with Veronica. You can only longer progress sprays through solid surfaces. Increased the rate of wiping. Added a cooldown for creating sprays. 1 second. Wow, who the fuck gives a shit? Does that do anything? No, it doesn't. Added a cooldown for creating sprays with Veronica. Fixed Blood Hunt not being reduced to 6 seconds during LMS. Properly rewarded people with legacy milestones. Added achievements for Sixer and Veronica when reaching level 100. Fixed the blah, fixed the blah, fixed the blah. They literally just fixed some bugs. They just fixed some bugs. They didn't balancing out characters. They changed clone, I guess. They nerfed the HP to 5, which is nice. And they made it so that destroying a graffiti, okay. Phase no longer stacks, yeah, that shouldn't have done. Phase speed boost duration decreased from 2 to decreased by half a second. And they decreased the speed boost from tricking a little bit. They increased the turn control effect from mobile. Cool. Removed the mobile increased crash damage penalty. Why? They increased the activate battery cooldown. Cool. And they reduced the amount of battery you start with. Does that fix any of the problems? No, that's a nothing burger. They just lessened the problems. Because these are still problems. You still get the same speed boost from phase. You still get a very decent boost. Like, what? From 1.5 to 1.42x? They buffed mobile, and then they buffed it again. They nerfed vandalism, which is good. I'm not sure what destroying a graffiti will now destroy graffitis within a 4.5 stud and all adjacent graffitis does. I'm not sure what that's supposed to do. Presumably nothing. I mean, it should do something. Maybe for stacking sprays. Doesn't do anything else, though. And then they increased Sixer's normal walk speed. Wow. They made it a blood orbs last for only 60 seconds. Wow. They didn't do much else. They didn't really buff anyone else in any notable way. They buffed walk speed override by 2 damage. Wow. They reduced the ending lag. They buffed 07, I guess. They didn't do anything that was needed. They didn't even touch. They didn't even touch 2-time. Nope, it's just, oops, I'm only going to nerf and buff these guys. It didn't do anything. Is there anything else? Let's see. Bug fixes. Nothing. Yep. Elliot can no longer heal Veronica. Not sure how that managed to get into the game at all. They made these maps better. They made maps better. That's good. Cool. Yeah, they made things better. That hole in the pizza place should have been killer glass, but okay. And then all they did is they added in voice lines and fixed voice lines, and they quote unquote fixed Admin Noli's mouth. They didn't do anything else. They didn't do anything else. There has not been a single thing since. Let's look at the devlog. They added in a thing to look at a 2-time rework. They shouldn't be able to just get a backstab without using crouch stab first, so that there's decent windup. Like, I don't care that your trick stabs are lost. It doesn't fit in the game. I shouldn't have to play against Spy TF2 when I'm playing an ASIM game. No. Let's see. They just got Q&As. It's just there's nothing. These devs are putting out nothing burger updates and expecting us to. So like, why did my ticket get closed? Just because okay, for context, I was so I was trying to get B-roll footage earlier. So the B-roll footage you're seeing right now is not the B-roll footage I was gonna use. I was trying to get B-roll footage, and a hacker showed up in game. So I joined the Forsaken support server. I made a ticket, and then apparently just leaving will close the ticket. Not even like I didn't even click the close ticket button. Maybe the ticket closed itself or something. I don't know. Not sure why it wouldn't have pinged me if they did, because I've been recording all this time. It should have pinged me. So I'm assuming it closes just when you leave, which is stupid. But anyways, I lost track of thought, but yeah. I would complain about skins, but like, I don't know. That seems to be something they're obsessed with. I'll complain about a few skins. One, the Die of Death skins overall have been handled poorly. I get it. You like your Noli skin, you like your whatever skins. They just weren't handled very well for anybody except for Slasher. Like Slasher, so they did Slasher right with the Pursuer skin. That one was done well. But the killer skins, the other killer skins, Devesto and Artful, should have gone to John Doe. But no, since Noli was the new guy, they went to Noli. And, I now see people saying, oh, Harkin Sixer, even though Harkin is so much small. It's never going to happen. It's so far from the original design that it just won't happen. You know what I can see happening? Evil Scary as a Sixer skin. I can see Harkin, however, as a 1X skin. But then I see people putting Killdroid as a 1X skin, which doesn't make sense. No, Killdroid is literally closer to a Cool Kid skin. I don't have to explain Harkin, I'll explain Cool Kid, though. So he just does a standard punch, he'd have to. Then for Corrupt Nature, it's obviously the rockets. And then, for Walk Speed Override, he does Detonate. He activates Detonate, and then he charges forward, because you get a speed boost while using Detonate. And then, of course, for his minions, he calls in the Killbots. Obviously. And then Noli, in this scenario where all the killers actually got the skin that they should have gotten, Noli would have gotten Badware. You know why? Badware can charge. Badware can teleport between, in his case, PCs. Noli can charge. Noli can teleport between generators. I don't feel like I have to say more. Like, oh, but what about Nova? Nova doesn't fit Noli either. You realize that, right? Or Nova doesn't really fit. Like, I'm pretty sure the rework where Artful was actually able to throw the wall chunk came after or as Noli was coming out. Either after or as Noli was coming out. So he literally only got the skin because he was the new guy. And I'm not done. The Survivor skins are so ass. They look so nice, but they're ass. They don't have anything. They should have came out with custom animations, custom sound effects, a custom model for CarePad at least. But no, they got nothing. The most they got is a recolored dispenser. The Sentry I can understand, but the dispenser? I don't get how you managed to fuck that up so bad. The assets are already there. All you had to do was put the Die of Death animations in Forsaken. Maybe add a couple extra frames to the animation or something, but that was it. That was all you had to do, and you flubbed it. I'm sick and tired of seeing everyone defend Haitoko and Basil by simply saying, oh, they're tired and that's why they can't do anything. You own one of the more successful games on Roblox. Don't fucking tell me you can't hire anyone to do shit for you. You could hire people to make skins that fit, that work, that look nice on the character that they are on, and skins that make sense on the character that they're on, such as Badware for Noli and Artful for John Doe. You could hire people to make balance decisions, and then you put those balance decisions into the game. And then they work. Because Haitoko and Basil are awful at this. They fired, oh my god, they are such bad developers. They're so bad at this. I'm just genuinely pissed. I like this game. I like playing it. It feels nice to play. It feels good to land abilities. The abilities mostly feel good to use. But god damn it, they are so ass at balancing. The balancing is bad. It's so bad. There is nothing they can do to fix the balancing at this point, I feel like. I feel like they just have to start over from scratch, just like wipe the slate clean, dude. They gotta add in every character anew now. Either that or they gotta heavily overhaul everyone. Because simple, just because you can't really get anything from this with just simple little tweaks. You can't. You can't. You just can't. You can get maybe a little bit of balance out of simple tweaks. But you cannot get a fully, at least decently well balanced game just from simple tweaks. You have to make bigger changes. Otherwise, the game is going to stay ass. You need to remove broadcast. It's not necessary. You need to make it so that you can find spray paints easier. You need to add killer glass to that closed door at the end of Cake Factory, just outside where the door is, where the little gate is to the outside with the noob. There's a little a loading dock gate thing. You need to open that up a little bit and put killer glass in there so that if a Veronica puts their spray paint behind there, you don't have to go all the way to Kingdom Come to get rid of that spray paint. I'm so fed up with the developers, dude. Honestly, the only reason I'm still playing is because I can't really find a game where I can play the game and then watch number go up. Because you can't really do that with Die of Death because like there's no objectives to do when you're on cooldown. You just stand there and emote. I'm not outcome memories is ass. I no. And I'm not playing Pillar Chase 2. I've heard it's ass. I don't want to play Pillar Chase 2. And I am not buying Dead by Daylight. If I want a different ASIM game, I'll just go play Secret Lab. But, yeah, I'm done. This video is done. I'm still going to be playing Forsaken. I'm just overall done with the developers. I'm done putting up with their shit. And you should be too. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night or something. I don't know. Good whatever. But we need to start. I'm not saying harass the devs. I'm saying start giving them more shit about not doing shit. Like if they said, "Hey, we need a break because we've been having to deal with a lot of shit recently," then okay. But no, they didn't say that. They just haven't been doing anything. They haven't done a damn thing. Okay, video over now. I'm clicking stop recording in 3, 2, 1. This is the outro.